support each other.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear us okay. Test, test, test. Anyway, I want to welcome you all to Ask Away. We have two of our LTHA board candidates, Eva Lucas and Kathy Marchesseault, with us this evening, and going to be quick, 30 minutes. And many questions, many events over the past few weeks have occurred already. So what we're going to be doing tonight is focusing in on a few questions that community members have sent in. And a lot of them have to do with capabilities, skills, how people would handle particular situations as a board member. And so we're going to be kind of combining a lot of those questions into more of a discussion format, which I think will be a lot more interesting for people. One of the key topics that we're going to hone in on a little bit is ageism. And it's not going to be a deep conversation, but we're going to bring it up and we're going to go there. And the reason being that one of the biggest issues and concerns that has been brought up about one of our candidates, Eva Lucas, is that a lot of community members have expressed that they think she's fantastic. She brings a lot of, quality and skills to the table and experience. She manages 18 different HOA communities right now. So she certainly is capable, but they're concerned about her age and her age of 40. And so we thought, Eva and Kathy and myself, we discussed this a couple days ago, and we thought it would be a good opportunity to bring up ageism. Kathy and Eva are about 27 years age difference apart, and it's been fun listening to conversations and having some private conversations about ageism. Ageism typically is known with the senior community, anywhere from in most minds from 55, 50 on up. We experience ageism in many ways, whether you're applying for a new career, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're, you want to intern somewhere, whatever. It's really an interesting dynamic. But what a lot of you may not know is that ageism starts at 40. There are complete groups out there, support groups, advocacy councils, everything else that do nothing but try to, just dispel the myth that if you're 40, you're on your way out. So imagine what it must be like if you're 60 or 70 or 80 and you still have so much life to live. So that being said, we feel that age and how it pertains to the performance that particular candidate would have on the board is irrelevant. If you think about it, and we hope that this will be thought-provoking for you, if you can pinpoint any of the board members for Leisure Town over the past 10, 20 years and say that their age actually made them a better candidate or a better board member, I would love to hear about it. We would love to hear about that. But we could not, after much discussion, come up with any reason why age would be a concern. Especially with somebody with a background such as Eva. But what we did feel was important was capabilities, experience in dealing with professional environments, temperament. How do you handle adversity? How do you navigate through a group environment or a team environment with multiple personalities, a lot of them being very strong and passionate about what they care about, such as a board? And how do you come to conclusion and resolution through your actions? So those things we felt were important qualities to look at for board members. And not all of that necessarily means that experience is important. So you can have experience serving on the board before or a committee before and other things, but that probably isn't the top of what we would look at when we consider a qualified board member. Another thing to add to that would be a different perspective. Leisure Town right now is positioned to really experience a lot of change and growth if they are going to future-proof the community for future generations. A lot of our, processes need to be upgraded. A lot of the facilities need to be upgraded, the water systems, the plumbing. It's an old community, and that's what we love about it. But with that comes change. So we feel that that is something worth discussing as well. So on that note, we have Eva Lucas. Say hi, Eva. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, you may not know. And then Kathy Marchesseault. Thank you both for being here. So I'm going to throw out a couple of questions first, based on everything that I just said. And these questions were submitted by a couple of our members, and I've been holding on to them, and it turns out this is the right moment. So go ahead, answer the question. We are going to stop right at 6:30, so everybody can go on with other business that they need to go to. So the first question I have is, what makes a good board member in your mind? And go ahead and start, and then have a discussion if you'd like.
Okay, I will start. In my mind, a good board member is somebody who has a heart to serve. This is a voluntary position, and you have to have a heart to serve our community, to want to better our community, to want to lift our community up. And I think also a good board member is somebody who can be open and approachable and flexible and willing to learn about the position you may be put in, if you should be elected, willing to be educated, go to training, read up on documents, study Davis Sterling, study our CC&Rs, study our bylaws, be out there within the community and expose yourself to the different events that are happening, the different groups, the different passions that people have. Be willing to listen to some things that might be hard to hear, and get back to the membership in a timely manner with an answer to the best of your ability, with an eye forward, taking their concerns to heart, and with serious contemplation and reflection, because our membership is our life around us. It's what we've decided to surround ourselves with, being part of this community. And we want to, or I want to make it a pleasurable one to live in, an exciting one to live in, one that's going to keep me active as long as I can be active and involved, and just show them I care. Wherever I live, I try to show my neighbors that I care. And that's, to me, what a good candidate is.
Well, that was a lot of information. Thank you. Maybe I can add a few things to that. I think most importantly is somebody that wants to better the community. Even if you have education or knowledge, just like myself, history on associations and how they should be run. I think that it's about bettering your community first and foremost. It's most important. I think I bring a different perspective to what I believe would be a good board member to our association. I think honesty, the following the rules that you make is very important. And being honest, you don't have to know everything all the time, but you have to be able to work to figure it out and report back to the membership, as we are all members here and all have the same and equal rights. I think reliability is very important. It's not about just putting in 50 hours a week. It's about getting these tasks done in a timely fashion and not wasting time. We don't have to have 5 meetings a month in order to get the business completed. I think it's not necessarily about how much you put in, it's about the quality you put in, not the quantity. Of course, education and knowledge. I bring a little bit of that to the board, but I think that somebody that is willing to do the research, ask the questions, inquire with, our vendors about, at the last board meeting, just for instance, there was a conversation about some irrigation bills that weren't paid from a year ago. And one of the board members had said, we're trying to inquire if there's some kind of statute of limitations to pay. You want to take care of your vendors, so your vendors take care of you. So you ask those questions, did somebody else could have received them? I think there's a way to approach the vendors or of course, the members in a professional manner, in lieu of, kind of just saying, sorry, too late, too bad. I think there's two sides to every story. You want to listen, you want to hear them out. Motivation is very important, to make sure that you're passionate about what you do and that you want to put that time in. And communication. I think communication is very important and a definite need for definite need that we have a definite need here to increase the communication to the members.
Okay, thank you. That was good information. Next topic is your ability to work with others. And this was, I received several questions, just slightly different versions of it, that how do you deal with adverse situations? You're going to be dealing with a number of different personalities, different history within the community, and different passions and priorities. How do you deal with that when you're sitting at a board meeting and you are trying to work through an agenda and you're getting some pushback, and it becomes heated and it can become emotional? How do you deal with those situations? Both of you have been in business in the past, and we're talking about the board as a business, as it should be. Let's dig a little bit deeper. How would you navigate through those situations?
I think communication, conversation. I think, a text or email can be read one way. I think speaking to somebody is always the best option to be able to discuss your side or listen to somebody's ideas. I don't think that, we have some boards that I manage, and I've never sat on that side of the table, but some boards that I manage, they often have a little bit of heated conversation. But I think that everybody in advance reviews the board packages, does their due diligence in figuring out the best options for the association, and are there for the betterment of the community. So I don't think, I personally am not a fighting person. I'm not looking to have conflict. I'm looking for resolution. And that's my ultimate goal as a business owner as well, is trying to figure out how to make things better, how to get to the next step. It's not about fighting with somebody. We all have our own opinions, and we can discuss those as adults and come to a good conclusion.
Thanks for that, Eva. Those are good points. For me, I would have to say the tone of your communication or my communication with somebody when I am interacting with them, be it one person or a panel of people, goes a long way. My tone can convey respect, and as well as a position that I have. But ultimately, we have to respect each other and treat each other accordingly, and use kindness. Even though we may not agree, I think we need to use kindness to get through the issues. Look to our documents, because those documents are there for a purpose. We have those for a purpose, and when we've reached an impasse or we're having difficulty moving beyond something, for me, it helps to go to the documents, because those are facts, and I like to deal in facts, and instead of speculation or innuendos or just a thought or a feeling. I like to deal in facts, because that way you present them, and it's kind of hard to argue against those or to go against the governing documents we have. And that's very helpful for me when I'm in a tough situation. And I tend to often sit back and listen. I try to listen more than verbalize and speak, because I want to take in what everybody is saying and hear how they're saying it, and the way they're coming across. Am I encountering bridges? Is somebody offering a bridge across an issue, or is it a hard and fast, this is how it's going to be? Because bridges build community.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next question is name 3 of your top qualities that you would bring to the table as a board member to not only contribute to the community, but also to enhance it and bring it to the next level.
I'll go first. So 3 qualities I would say for myself are: I listen. I'm willing to listen, and I'm open to learning. I like to learn. I like to be educated. I like to grow. I like to stretch. I like to expand. Even at my age, I look forward to that. It energizes me. It's what I wake up for and look forward to. What can I learn today? And the other thing is, I think I'm an approachable person. I want to hear what people have to say, because I care. I care what people have to say, and those are my 3.
I'd have to say, background in management, running the business, I think is a definite plus. I'm a hard worker. My husband often says that I should stop volunteering for things. There's a lot of things, SPCA, I've taken dogs, I help people out with the fires, you name it, I'm volunteering for my school board. He says, don't you want to just spend time at home and just enjoy your time off? To me, sitting around doing nothing is not my thing. I like to be involved. I like to, care about the community where I live, where I work, where I own. There's a lot of those things. And I think being kind, I think, like I told you before, is that I'm not looking to fight with anybody. I'm looking to be a benefit to the community, a positive, just have a positivity in being on the board and making it better.
Thank you. So in the event the 2 of you get elected and have the opportunity to serve together on the board, going back to the benefits of having a multi-generational environment. So, you know, Eva being 27 years younger than Kathy, Kathy being 27 years senior to Eva, there's benefits to that, huge benefits for all involved. So that being said, Eva, what do you think you would like to be able to learn from Kathy if you have the opportunity to serve together? What do you think out of her qualities and skills and what you know about her right now would enhance your own personal and professional development? And then Kathy, go ahead and repeat the same thing back with Eva.
I think Kathy's a great thinker. I think that I've previously worked with her on some other things, and she takes her time to do the research in order to figure out ideas and options. And I think that's a great quality to have. And for me, it's something to look towards in helping myself, because I think that the history that she has, obviously being a little bit older, I don't consider her a lot older. My mom is her age and I consider that young, but I think having the history, and just the patience to deal with the questions or doing research, I really appreciate that. And I think it'll be a benefit to myself and the board.
Thank you for that, Eva. If I have the pleasure to serve with Eva, I would definitely want to tap into her experience and knowledge being a manager of a number of HOAs. That is huge in my book, because she has the experience. She's dealt with a number of HOAs. She knows it's not just one or two, it's numerous ones. So she's encountered a lot of different situations and challenges, and that I'm eager to learn from and see how she resolved something that maybe we would have in common in our HOA community. And also I like the youth. I like, and I have two children. I have 5 sons. 2 of our sons are in their later 40s. So I have children that are older than Eva, and I love being around them. They're vibrant, they're fun, they have a lot to share. They're experienced individuals and well-rounded. They know their stuff in their jobs and beyond. They're great human beings, and it helps keep me young to be connected with younger people. And I love being around people older than myself because of the wisdom and the knowledge that they have, and a sense of peace that they can carry in their hearts and say, yeah, I've kind of been there. I've experienced that a situation. Maybe they can impart some wisdom to you. But I'm looking forward to Eva's. She's a kind person. I've had the pleasure to interact with her on a number of occasions. I think I can call her a friend, and she is a kind person. And if she was my neighbor, I would probably visit her a lot when she was home. I know she's busy, but I would probably go by and knock on her door and say, maybe we can have a cup of coffee or tea, or go do something fun. So I would look forward to it eagerly.
I think if we both were on the board, I think that we would have a lot of, I think there's a lot of change that we can make for the betterment of the community. I think we have great ideas.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Thank you very much. So we have a little less than 10 minutes left, and I wanted to give each of you a couple of minutes to just kind of sum up what your thoughts are about qualifications of a board member and how age can be a benefit or a deficit. And we'd like to give the community and the members who have submitted these questions and concerns just something a little bit different to think about when they leave this evening. So Eva, why don't we start with you for a couple of minutes and then Kathy follow.
Okay, I think, age is just a number. You can feel young, you can feel old. I think that it is definitely about qualifications, and I think I have the qualifications to serve on the board. I think I have the heart to serve on the board. I can't keep on saying that it's, I have the knowledge, but I have, I've been through a lot of legal issues with associations, and I've seen some of the problems that some of the associations I've have run into based on board members and board members' decisions. I think it would be a great benefit. That's a great benefit for me, because I see how we should act on the decisions we should make, the duties that we have to the members. I think that I would be a great board member. I don't really, if given the opportunity, but I don't really have much more. I don't know what else I can say about it. Help me out.
Well, I'll jump in here. For me, some might say that Eva's not 55. She can't possibly know what it's like to be a senior. She can't possibly know what it's like to walk in my shoes. But I don't feel that way. I don't feel that her age should be the stumbling block for any person here in this membership. It shouldn't matter how many birthdays you've celebrated on this earth to determine whether you're a fit person for any position. To say that, well, you've only celebrated 40 birthdays, I can't see you being part of a senior community or serving on the board. I've celebrated 67 birthdays on this earth. Does that make me more qualified simply because I am over 55? I don't subscribe to that thinking, because that's handcuffing somebody who has a lot to offer and has the heart to serve. And so to me, age is not a factor. I welcome all ages with what they have to offer and their vision and their drive and their commitment. It's about experience, knowledge, willingness to learn, willingness to open yourself up to new horizons, new information. I've served on a board before. I've served as a CFO for a number of years. I've learned a lot. I've learned how I've been entrusted with finances. I take that very seriously. A board position is a hard job. And as Eva said, sometimes you just want to, maybe family members will think there's a lot of time and energy you spend. Wouldn't you rather be doing something leisurely? But for me, I feel a calling, and age shouldn't be a stumbling block for anyone, because it's kind of dismissive on just this level, a number. And it just kind of cuts a person off at the knees without looking deeper into what they have to offer.
I'd like to add, I think that I'm great at negotiations. I have a tiny terror who's 5, and I would like to apply that knowledge to any negotiations for the association as well. I do this on a daily basis.
Oh, that's funny. That's fantastic. I am just real quick, we have about 2 minutes left. Thank you both for kind of pivoting a little bit from the norm and being open and authentic and vulnerable with such an interesting topic. I think that that's important for any of us to see when we're considering people to fill the role in our leadership. I also think that we're all capable in some way, shape, or form getting stuck within our own echo chambers. And what that means basically is that we get stuck. We get stuck hearing our own voice, hearing the same voices of others. We start to just hear the same things over and over again. And you know, it comes in waves where we will have opportunity to actually expand our minds, to expand our way of thinking, to be shown something a little bit different in a different way that most of us have found and experienced to be just really life-changing. You know, when you're able to step outside that echo chamber and you realize that you've been listening to the same song over and over and over again, it really is, you kind of punch yourself and think, what was wrong with that? Where have I been all this time? And we all do it. So hopefully tonight's 30 minutes has, you know, helped some of you to maybe open your mind a little bit, take a look at what ageism really is, and that, you know, if you know of anyone that you have seen sit on the HOA board in the past or currently in the present, that you have voted for based on their age, then I would like to know that, because this really is an interesting conversation. If any of you have comments that you'd like to add or requests for future discussions and conversations, even beyond the campaign period, I'd love to hear about that too, because I think this is a good time for us to have these conversations about what impacts our lives, what impacts our community. And our community right now currently is divided into several different demographics. You've got 55 to 65, 65 to 75, 75 on up. And all of those age segments have different needs and have different ways of moving and working and, you know, receiving information. So anyway, we wish you a good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We'll be back to see you, I think, on the 2nd will be our next Ask Away event. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, community.
Thank you.
Thank you.